So this is a waiver wire jump, right? So we should. So Corey asked a question kind of tangential to this, but I think we can slide it in here and have some quick discussion about this. He said, "I felt like a lot of the moves or non-moves, as he describes this offseason for the lineup have been around leaving space for Culpepper, Jenkins, and Rodriguez to be able to debut when they're ready. My question is, Larnach is probably traded before the spring. What does Wallner have to do to hold his spot?" Essentially, he then sent another follow-up message and basically was like, how do all of these pieces and guys fit together? Because it feels like there's way too many guys for a particular number of spots on the Twins active roster at the moment. So if we look in the infield, we've got what? Brooks Lee at short and Ryan Kreidler backing him up. We've got Josh Bell probably at first base, maybe. But is there a world in which Cody Clemens and Eric Wagaman are a platoon duo of first base, and Josh Bell is more of a DH? You've got Luke Keeschel, the Luke Keeschel variable of like, is he a second baseman or is he going to be a right-handed bat in the outfield? I think that potentially shifts things around a lot.
He could be both, though, right? I mean,
could be both. Both.
And Cody Clemens isn't. I think we're used to him playing first base. He's played a decent amount of second base in his career, right? Or am I just imagining that?
He's played second and he's played a little bit of third, but at the same time, my wondering there, Jeremy, is like, who's backing up Royce Lewis? I do not want Eric Wagaman backing up Royce Lewis. Royce Lewis struggles to stay on the field. There's not really a solid backup at third. If we go down the like, Luke Keeschel is going to start transitioning to the outfield rabbit hole, then we have a really interesting conversation because we've got Byron Buxton, right-handed, along with Keeschel. Then you've got Larnach, lefty, Austin Martin, righty, James Outman, lefty, Alan Roden, lefty, and Matt Wallner, lefty, all on the Major League roster. There's no way you're going into spring with all of those guys still on the team. So maybe the question becomes like, what is your kind of confidence interval, or like stack some of those guys in terms of likelihood to get moved or traded? Because one of them has to be, right? Like, you don't acquire Alan Roden midseason, who's better defensively and is a better athlete than Larnach, to not use him.
Right.
Who's going from this picture? To me, it's Larnach, pardon me, based on the salary, and just maybe there's a team who still sees some marginal value in the bat. But I'm wondering kind of who jumps out as you as like the most likely to be moved.
Well, I think Larnach for sure. I think there's been talk of like, is Altman guaranteed a spot? And in my mind, it's like, you're not going to trade Brock Stewart for someone that you're then just going to cut right away. But then I look at Austin Martin and I'm like, okay, so are Martin and Outman, is there some redundancy there? Is Austin Martin potentially someone that could play a little in the infield? Like, he played a lot of third base, right? He doesn't really have that bat, but are they going to look at him as like a Willie Castro type that's just not as good defensively? I don't have the answers to that because Fitzgerald is gone, and we'll talk about maybe what the second option is at shortstop later. But does he fit in other places too? I think, and I don't know, like, is Derek Shelton gonna not look at versatility as much as Rocco did? I think there's just a lot of questions that we're looking at a real incomplete picture to try to come up with an answer.
Definitely a lot of questions. And I think the other argument you could easily make is Wagaman is like the floor setter of like, when you got Kyle Farmer and he was like, okay, we have someone who can play shortstop. Then they went on and signed Carlos Correa to that extremely surprising deal later in the summer. So maybe Wagaman is the like, okay, we've got someone, a placeholder, if you will. We're still looking to upgrade there because, as you say, and like, maybe we could probably do a whole episode on this, Jeremy, of like, let's throw a diamond graphic up there and like look at the depth chart and actually talk through who makes the most sense. Right. Any way you arrange it, the defense is going to be hideous, dude. Like, either some combination of both the infield and the outfield defense, the infield defense in particular, outfield a little better because you got Buxton and Wallner has a big arm and Austin Martin potentially has some range and Roden's fine. But the defense, I feel like, is going to be bad. So I don't know. It feels concerning.